What if the voice that feels the most real is also the one you understand the least? Not a metaphor, a real moment. You're riding a blind corner and suddenly slow down. No reasoning, no build-up, just a clean command. You listen. And there it is. A dog in the curve. Perfect timing dot. So what just happened? Was that you? Your brain? Or something else? That small moment is actually where a much bigger question begins. Because humans have always had experiences like this. A sudden knowing. A voice that feels external. A message that doesn't feel like it was thought. And sometimes, those moments don't stay small. They expand into visions, into voices, into something people call revelation. Now, let's ground this. From a scientific perspective, the brain is constantly predicting. It scans patterns you don't consciously notice. Tiny details, subtle changes, past experience. And sometimes it moves faster than your awareness dot. So instead of saying, I analyze the situation, it just outputs, slow down. Direct, efficient, no discussion. But here's the twist. Sometimes that output doesn't feel like a thought dot. It feels like a voice. And not just any voice. A voice that feels like it's not yours. Now push the system. Take a human. Put them in isolation. Reduce food. Limit sleep. Remove noise. Add deep thinking. Repetition. Focus. What happens? The brain turns inward. And when it does, internal signals can get louder, much louder. Thoughts can feel external. Images can feel real. Voices can feel like they're coming from somewhere else. So here's the uncomfortable part. If the brain can generate experiences that feel completely real, how do you tell the difference between something produced inside and something coming from outside? Right now, you can't do that perfectly. And this is where things split. One path says, these are internal. Brain states, biology, environment. Another path says, the brain is not just producing, it might be receiving. Same experience, different interpretation. Now zoom out. Across history, people report powerful messages. And something interesting happens. Each system says, this is the truth. This is the final version. This is the correct message. But here's the problem. They don't all say the same thing. Some say God speaks through a messenger. Some say God becomes human. Some say the message is finished. Some say it continues. And they don't fully agree. So now you have a tension. If truth is one, why are the messages different? And it gets stranger. Most of these message events are clustered in the past. Thousands of years ago. A lot of activity. Prophets, revelations, systems forming. Then silence. For over 1,000 years, no new universal update. Meanwhile, everything else changes. Technology, science, human life. So you have to ask, if the source is real, why did it stop? Or did it, and we just don't recognize it anymore? Now go back to the brain. Because here's the part people don't like to hear. The same type of experience. A voice, a message, a certainty can happen in different contexts. In one case, it becomes a religion. In another, it becomes a psychological condition. Same mechanism, different outcome. So what's the difference? Consistency? Impact? Social acceptance? Or just timing? And now the hardest question. If multiple systems claim absolute truth, they can't all be right. But could they all be wrong? Not the moral parts. Those are shared, stable, practical. But the metaphysical claims. Those might be human attempts to explain something deeper. So where does that leave you? Back on that road. In that moment, a voice says, slow down. It works. It feels real, but you don't call it divine. Why? Because context shapes meaning. So here's the real question. Is the voice in your head just a survival tool, or a doorway to something we don't fully understand yet? And if one day it says something bigger than slow down, would you trust it?